And we are live for some Friday night Chair League action here in Heroes of the Storm Division 1. Tara Spaz, and I'm bringing to you a match tonight between Wukong Nation on the blue team and BJandCo on the red. A Division 1 match from teams that I think have been around the block times here. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've cast for thought I've cast for Wukong Nation at some point. Can't swear to that, but we'll have to see that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're in the present, not talking about the past. We've got ETC, the band for Wukong Nation, and BJandCo taking away Malf. So it's been kind of a shakeup here with the last patch. Probius is now online. Arthas seems to be pretty good all of a sudden, which is kind of a cool new world. It's nice to see him starting to bully people around, at least in quick match. I don't think I've seen him in a Chair League match so far, but not to say tonight couldn't be the night. Ragnaros the first pick for Wukong Nation, and a fairly open pick from a Wukong Nation. It doesn't really commit them to anything. He can participate in a team fight or kind of lane by himself. It really gives them lots of options. Being able to just wipe out waves of spiders or drop a big ol' hammer is there's no way you can't just go wrong with a Ragnaros. Might be a better pick, but I don't think he's ever a bad pick. And a first pick Sylvanas coming out of BJandCo with Muradin. So they're really looking to try and get some early damage, do some damage early in the early game. Try and really maximize those early spiders, really extend their life deep into enemy territory, and Muradin to help provide some defense. Lucio, the star support of choice coming out of Wukong Nation, and Lucio has been just nothing but excellent here in the last few. Probably one of the most fun supports on the board right now, unless you like not having fun, I guess. Johanna the tank as well, so a very solid front line and very maneuverable coming out of Wukong Nation. I would expect to see them pick up a bit of ranged here. BJandCo with a tank and specialist in hand have essentially damage and support is the order of the day. They might pick up some more frontline mixed in with that, but got a couple check boxes filled so far. They want to build a team that can push and unload damage with Sylvanas very well. And knowing that, if they're expecting to be in a tight group, Kelthus is certainly a dangerous threat to them. Why they would take him off the board. They're thinking about banning him. That's what they're currently showing now. Looks like they're just going to let the clock run out on it and maximize their thinking time. And Wukong Nation, I'd fairly likely see them take out a support here, unless they're just scared of one particular hero messing with their composition coming up. Two supports off the table. It's never a bad idea to take a third away if you're really trying to hamstring your opponent's options. And there's plenty of damage options if they were to take away Brawl, Zuljin's still around. If they were to take away Dana, King's still around. But they do wind up banning a support in the form of Morales. And if there's anybody who can enable a push real well, it's Morales. Being able to, as a hero, takes a lot of damage, just dips back away from the front line for just a few seconds and gets topped off to full and is back in fighting action. Morales pairs really well with what BJandCo appears to be doing. We'll see what coming with. Brightwing may not be the worst choice, but they can certainly wait till last pick. I don't see Wukong Nation picking up another support with Lucio. The amount of just raw healing numbers he's able to put out, unless they do something wacky like Volatacidar or Like that.
Fight to my last breath.
BJandCo do like to pick up their big old damage and support with Gul'dan and Rhaegar, so so far a synergy bonus for WoW characters. Credit to BJandCo. See what Wukong Nation looks to do to close out their team. Looking at this, I think they still. I don't think a whole lot's changed. They definitely want range, especially in the face of a big pushy team. Like it looks like BJandCo has assembled so far. Last week I saw this excellent match where Johanna Condemn plus Brawl Sundering. They were just on point. They were very well communicating. They were connecting their abilities, sequencing in a very excellent way, and it really seemed to be super effective at that. But it looks like they're coming around from the back. Valeera and Jaina the picks, so really looking to isolate someone and just glom damage on. Their mission is to just turbo murder someone on BJandCo. Zarya, great response to that. Being able to just lob a shield on someone who might be in harm's way could be a very strong asset for BJ. So all in all, it's going to be tough. I think if some of the early spiders go BJandCo's way, they may be able to just roll up enough of an advantage to close this out. But it's going to be hard for Sylvanas to travel alone by herself. Valeera's notoriously good at messing that up. We'll see how things shake out here as we get loaded into the match here in just a minute. Stay tuned. And we are live, loaded into Tomb of the Spider Queen here for this best of one Division 1 match here in Cherry League. On the red team for BJandCo, we've got Monferno 2 on Sylvanas, Ambugatun on Rhaegar, Thintius on Gul'dan, Robdog 159 on Muradin, and Odinex on Zarya. And on the blue team for the Wukong Nation, we've got Dirkhawk 82 on Johanna, Megalomania on Ragnaros, Broven on Valeera, Crazy Mage on Jaina, and Bellalos on Lucio. Gates are down, teams are rushing headlong into the maw itself, and Lucio bursts his team there first, so they'll be able to set up, figure out where they want to position heroes, try and get an angle on BJandCo, who's playing very safe, sending Sylvanas down to the bottom lane, but otherwise keeping real close to this mid game. Engagement coming out from Wukong Nation, trying to pop some damage onto Muradin. Does fall to about half health, but that could get chipped up fairly well. Down in the bottom lane, we've got Megalomania and Monferno too, duking it out, just heavily trading blows. But should be a pretty good match down there. I think Ragnaros v Sylvanas is pretty close. Maybe Ragnaros gets the edge briefly, but I don't think it's that big. It's quite close. Both teams doing a good job rotating between top lane and mid lane, bombing up those gems. Gem count still very close. It looks like down in the bottom, Monferno eking out the advantage, doing a great job dodging all that damage coming out of Ragnaros. And Gul'dan gets caught out a little bit. Does he get taken out? Oh, sticks around for the blizzard and gets taken out. So first takedown of the game, opportune takedown from Wukong Nation. I'm not sure how that started, but we know how it ended. Onslaught continues as they're trying to get the isolation on Robdog, but Odinex having none of it. Standing his ground and just throwing shields and bombing damage at Wukong Nation. All in all, a little bit of a shake-up. I think it looks like BJandCo were able to recover those lost gems. Oh, but the takedown shaping up on Robdog. Are they able to get it? Yes. So eventually that damage able to add up to a dead Muradin, so 2-0 in favor of Wukong Nation so far. But again, BJandCo able to collect the gems, so it's not going to put them terribly far behind. They are trailing by about a half level lead in experience. All things considered, nothing too scary to write home about. A lot of damage coming out onto Monferno there. Back into the mid lane, rotations still going fairly safely. Notice BJandCo sticking fairly close to their walls, not looking to get taken out. And that Valera is just absolutely disrupting this rotation. You see they're trying to come up to those minions. They want to soak up that experience, but Valera with just a couple seconds delay. Good sight from Kroven. Trying to just be a nuisance, trying to make this plan as unroutine for BJandCo as possible. Speaking of which, we do see the engagement coming in onto Sylvanas down in the bottom lane. So Dirkhawk and Kraven helping out their buddy Rag, trying to win out that bottom lane. So they are going to get a great deal of that push. And those gems will not be recovered. Wukong Nation almost at the 50 needed for the turn in. BJandCo have a bit of work to do yet. Nentius getting a lot of stacks with his this corruption. Did he take that? He did. That seems to... I can't think of a Gul'dan who has played something other than the corruption core. At least here lately. But Wukong Nation have enough for the turn in. They might be trying to get up to level 7 just to make sure they can win it. Does come out. BJandCo with the interrupt is going to stall this out as Sylvanas is now back in the bottom lane. The damage comes out onto Robdog. He is able to toss away. But it will prevent him from engaging for a little bit as he heals himself back to full. Hana and Gul'dan duking it out up in the mid lane. Everybody else split between mid and bottom. Damage once again coming out from Robdog, and we see Jaina and Kraven being have a lot of great communication, coordinating those slows and stuns to really maximize the damage from Jaina spells. With that, we see the rotation once more. Kraven down to the bottom lane, able to combo off with Megalomania, getting the takedown once again in the bottom. That should give them a good opportunity to really start applying pressure to this bottom lane. We see the towers on their way down. Port damage should be a little bit imminent. Not quite yet. A lot of damage on Kraven. It looks like BJandCo may have figured out how to deal with her. Can Rhaegar escape? It looks like the answer is barely. Had to have been, you know, easily less than 100 health. Maybe even less than 50. But you know, certainly a narrow escape. But both Rhaegar and Felicia able to get back to safety. Well, I say that, Rhaegar goes ham on Crazy Mage. Will he be able to get out of this? Oh, the critical Zarya shield. Able to keep him in fighting form. And Wukong Nation with a lot of gems to cover this. Still looking for that turn in, and BJandCo now have enough to turn in as well. But Rhaegar having to hearth out is going to give Wukong Nation a very strong numbers advantage. But doing a great job just delaying as long as they can, and unfortunately Zarya might have stuck it around a little bit too long as Wukong Nation gets the next takedown and should be able to get a great deal of damage done with this push. In fact, they can pick up another takedown here real quick. They'll definitely have 10s before the spiders land. If not, they should get it shortly thereafter. So we see the tip of the spear in the mid lane. 4 members of Wukong Nation trying to get the damage onto Gul'dan. Can't quite connect enough, but does discourage him from throwing anything out into the spider. Wave comes out, the stun comes out onto Muradin, just eats a large amount of damage, having the dwarf toss away. If that was anybody else, I think they'd be dead. But BJandCo having a real hard time mounting a defense against this. They've got 5 members of Wukong Nation staring him in the face, looking to initiate, pick off a kill at a moment's notice. They do get the mid fort. Ragnaros taking over, in control, trying to get further damage done. They do manage to get the damage onto Rhaegar. So all in all, a 1-for-0 and a fort with a little bit of damage onto this onto the wall of this keep here in the mid lane. Trying to knock out the Sippy Cubs. I don't know if they're going to try for the fort here. They've still got heroics, and BJandCo are a good bit away, so I wouldn't be surprised if they push here. But they may be just content getting this turn in before BJandCo has 10s online. So it'll be that much harder for BJandCo to get the... Meanwhile, speaking of the race for 10, BJandCo spread out, trying to desperately soak as much experience as they can before this wave of Spider comes. And they know that Wukong Nation has to be doing that or boss, because they're gone from the map. But here comes the engagement down in the top lane. BJandCo able to orchestrate an escape, able to get to safety without too much damage. And so the next wave of pressure coming out of Wukong Nation looks like their primary attack is going to come up here in the top lane. Engagement coming out on Rondog. Follow-up wasn't immediately available, so Sulfura gets out of there. The re-engagement coming out, the big Sulfura smash into a Ring of Frost. It's going to spell the end of Zarya and send everybody else on BJandCo to critical health. Rhaegar winds up falling as well. Ancestral goes off, I think, on Rob Dog, able to get to safety. So a 2-for-0 in favor of Wukong Nation. They've got a Spider at the gates here in the top lane. It looks like they're going to get this wall without problem. Can they get more? The answer is yes, as Muradin does wind up falling to the absolute damage bomb that Wukong keeps deploying just indiscriminately onto BJandCo. Wukong Nation not looking to surrender an advantage, just to wind up withdrawing, but still get the takedown on Gul'dan on their way out. And Wukong Nation just in control of this game, just absolutely dictating the pace of play here. So with that, we see Wukong now rotating to the bottom lane. Spider at fairly low health. So a quick rotation from BJandCo should be able to save this keep and keep them in the game. But the takedown from Valeera on Sylvanas, but may have overextended just a bit. Is she going to be able to escape? Yes. That level difference really, really starting to feel rough there for BJandCo. On equal terms, that would have been a dead Valeera all day long. But that extra life total, that reduced damage, it made the difference in Valeera escaping. And BJandCo are going to have to pull out something fairly powerful here, but this 3v5 engagement is not, I think, what they want. A lot of damage outpouring onto Odin X will fall. The Mercenary Camp in command of Wukong Nation here in the mid lane as a 4-level lead now for Wukong Nation, and they've, I think at this point it's their game to lose. It's if they continue to play smart, if they continue to make solid game decisions and not take unnecessary risks, eventually they should be able to grind this victory out. But here's a window for BJandCo. They have enough gems for the Spider turn in. They have no vision on Wukong Nation, so if they can deduce that they're at boss, then that gives them the chance for a turn in. But it looks like that window might be closing as boss starts barreling down on the top lane. And nobody quite close enough to get the turn in yet. So multi-core should be up for Ragnaros, so once this keep falls, it is going to be just an immediate explosion of damage outwards. So BJandCo are going to have to keep that in mind as the push comes into this top lane. This keep is almost certainly doomed, so it's a matter of finding the right angle, finding the right pick, but they're going to have to do it without Gul'dan, as he does get a Sulfura smash right to the face, but they do get the equalizer on Valeera. So 4v4, except one of them is a raid boss, and he's on their keep. But it is enough to dissuade Wukong Nation from continuing the aggression. But with that, will Megalomania be able to get out of this? It looks like yes, as BJandCo has to respond to the boss punching out their cores. So BJandCo able to defend, close the level deficit down to 3, and I believe they still have enough. Oh, somewhere in the middle of that, they got Spider turn. I'm not sure how they pulled that off, but they were able to get the turn in and Really making all in there from Wukong Nation. Kind of a dangerous prospect. Wukong should be able to clean this up without taking a lot of damage. See the Sippy Cup dropping down to kind of critical health. But otherwise, structures pretty reasonable shape across the map. Although this top building might be in a bit of peril here as BJandCo decided, you know what, we're tired of playing on the back foot. We're going to make an aggressive move. We're going to try and catch up experience the fastest way we know how. But can't stay there for long as Wukong Nation pushing hard down in the bottom lane. They will get this keep, but really matters. They can get a couple picks. They may go farther in that. So we'll see what they elect to do. A critical Horrify is going to send Kraven out of the hot zone. Ring of Frost does isolate Gul'dan. Rhaegar quickly fall behind. Sulfuras Smash just mopping up members of BJandCo. So a 4-for-0 so far. Rob Dog is going to be taken down as well. And Wukong Nation will close it out here in a relatively quick match here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Looks like we're going to close out just shy of 14 minutes. And just a clinic on how to run this map from Wukong Nation. So well played from that. Kroven absolutely just finding the angles, finding the disruption, keeping BJandCo unsure of where was safe, where was dangerous. We saw in the beginning of the game, Hero was hanging out with that 4-man rotation, which makes sense. That's where a lot of your damage, a lot of your power is coming from, and it isolates someone. You need the follow-up, and part of the 4 sense. But and just like in poker, if you you bluff, and then all of a sudden you wake up with aces, then the other team may not know how to react. So showing that presence in that lane for so long, and then peeling away to the bottom lane, quick gank on Sylvanas. I think that pulled off a couple times. Really strong engagements from Kroven, and really showing an understanding of how Valeera is supposed to. Excellent job from Kroven there. But did a really strong performance from Wukong Nation across the board. They grabbed control of the game and never let go. I don't think. I think they only surrendered 1 takedown through the game, and I think that was that wound up being exchanged. I think Valeera initiated, got a kill, but wasn't quite able to escape. I don't exactly remember that how it went. But that is going to do it for this best of 1. So there is unfortunately only 1 W, but today that W goes to Wukong Nation. So congratulations to them. We wish both teams the best of luck in the last week of regulations, week 8 coming up. Season starts tomorrow, and it'll end a week from tomorrow. So if you're on a team, had this pocket strategy you've been waiting to deploy, you're running out of time. So if you're gonna do something crazy, hope to see it on display next week here in Chair League. My name's been Terra Spaz, and I'll see you in the Nexus. Take care.